Well, you have to go back to 1968 for the last time Wigan lost a Challenge Cup semi-final. They've won each of the 13 semi-finals they've appeared in since, and they've gone on to win the trophy 10 times as well in that period. But today they start as second favourites against the Bradford side, who have a juggernaut approach to most games. If their pack can prove unstoppable, then their backs may prove uncatchable this afternoon. Big entrance. Bradford fans are famous for their passionate support of their side. Wigan fans here, maybe not in the numbers they have been in recent years, but who knows? Everybody wrote Wigan off before last year's Challenge Cup final, another painful memory for Ian Millward, and yet as underdogs they won. But today, you really do have to fancy this Bradford pack and those Bradford backs behind them, don't you?
Well, the beauty of the semi-final is it's a one-off game. I think they've got a lot of speed in their team today, Wigan, which will be a big bonus for them against a very powerful and strong Bradford team. I just think it's going to be a little bit closer than everyone's anticipating, because I think there's a lot at stake here. Don't forget, they are the defending champions of the Challenge Cup, Wigan.
One or two people have been talking about records as well before this semi-final. We'll talk more about those in just a second, but here are the way the two sides will line up today. Some interesting choices in amongst the Wigan side as well. Number 4, Paul Johnson, playing at stand-off this afternoon. That's the tactical selection by Stuart Raper. Sean O'Loughlin, who we expected in that position, is on the bench today. Presumably that's to just stiffen up the defence in the middle of the park, certainly in the early stages of the game. And Danny Tickle, the number 12, importantly for Wigan, has come through a fitness test earlier this morning. Important not just for his contribution in the pack, but he's the only recognised goal kicker in that 17 as well. Bradford Bulls have had their injury problems as well this week. Perhaps less written about, but one of those was Michael Withers, so important at fullback for them. He's had stomach problems, but again has passed the fitness test. And the surprise selection in the Bradford starting 13 today, Jamie Peacock, who we were told would definitely not play earlier this week because of his broken hand, but he had a stint in the under-21s earlier this week and was passed fully fit to play this afternoon. As our referee, Steve Ganson. And here is the toss of the coin to decide who goes which way first.
OK, Bradford to kick off. OK, good game, man.
Well, Adrian Lamb won the toss. Maybe that's important, we'll never know.
On your cue, mate.
Well, one of the reasons he's elected to go that way, because the sun will be in the eyes of the Bradford wingers if they put the ball high in the air, Dave, and so that's the advantage of winning the toss. And don't forget, Steve Ganson, not a person who's scared to give away penalties for any discipline, and I think we might see some penalties early in this game.
Biggest ever win in a Challenge Cup semi-final was back in 1992, and it featured these two sides. Wigan won that day by 71 points to 10. And there are one or two pundits who suggest it could be a similar scoreline the other way today.
Let's go, mate.
Well, 80 minutes, let's get it on and see who's the right one.
Bradford with a kick-off. Good searching kick as well, but the Irish international Brian Carney collects safely with the early drive. And these are going to be fascinating. We always say this in a big match, but especially today, very important opening 10 minutes, because Bradford will really throw everything, and that's a big mistake by Terry O'Connor to give Bradford such early possession. Here's Withers.
First good effort. Hold.
Jimmy Lowe's up at dummy half. Peacock just to his right. He's missed out. It's Robbie Paul instead. They're going wide. Leon Price is well watched by the Wigan defence. Peacock, first touch of the ball for him. Three Cherry and White defenders quickly surrounding. Lowe's now from dummy half, and a scamper as well. Tries to hurl himself when he's over the line. Question is, can he put it down? He's going to be held up. It'll be a scrum down, but it'll be Bradford's head and feet 10 yards back.
Well, not the start you want, is it? You know, second ruck of the game, one of your most experienced players knocks the ball on. And then Lowe's goes wide for the ball does. Lowe's has to go from dummy half. They push him in the goal. Of course, he's held up. You get the scrum feed and another 6 tackles. Very early pressure by Bradford on Wigan. This is telling times for Wigan very early.
Huge test for Wigan here. Here's Withers up in the line. Out to Robbie Paul. Paul has options on the left. Little scamper himself, but he's wrapped up nicely. 10 yards out, no more than that. Mainakolo, the giant New Zealand winger, who has fond memories of Cardiff, scored a hat-trick for Wales there. in the World Cup a couple of years ago. Jimmy Lowe's. Here's Deacon. Inside dummy to Forshaw, and then out to Withers, and here's a chance for Peacock. There's an overlap out there, but couldn't quite get it away. Price quickly up at dummy half again, trying to scamper over. Lowe's. Wangenaar. Little kick from the prop forward, but it's a meaningless kick, and Carney collects safely, and I suppose that's why you don't see prop forwards kicking so often.
Well, I don't think he's been issued with a kicking licence, and that's the reason why front rowers don't be issued with one, because it wasn't the right way to finish off a set of 6. An awful lot of dummy half runs early in the game by the Bradford team, also near the line, which is probably something, that area of the field, they don't need.
A lot made of the youngsters in the Wigan side today. There are several youngsters in the Bradford team as well, but they tend to have been played more top-flight rugby league than their Wigan counterparts. Damien Johnson is down on the touchline. Damien.
There was hardly a breath of wind yesterday for the first semi-final between Leeds and St Helens, but there's a swirling wind down here, which I think will favour Wigan in the first half. Perhaps we'll see the kicking game of Adrian Lamb coming to the fore.
Here's Price from dummy half. Vicona. Here's Fielden. Possibly, arguably, the form prop forward of the competition so far this season.
Well, I think he's a world-class front rower now, Dave. He's right up there with the best in the world.
Here's Deacon. They spread it wide down this left-hand side. Shontain happy. Little ball inside for Vinokola, who steps away from a couple of defenders and brushes off a couple more. This is powerful stuff for the big Kiwi. He's still going. It takes a manful effort in defence to finally stop him in his tracks. But that is the power and presence of the man. Deacon now. Little chip forward. Fielder's chasing, but Radlinski's back there, but he's going to be caught in goal. And it will have to be a drop-out from underneath the sticks.
Well, great pressure. They've bought that ball a good 60 yards they have from their in-goal, from their side of the field, Bradford. I'll tell you the other thing too there, Brian Noble would have said, that's the person who we want to kick in the in-goal area, not a front rower. And that's why he's a good kicker, Deacon. He got it where he's now building pressure. I'll tell you what, this is real testing times for Wigan, but I'll tell you what, it can give them a lot of confidence if they can repel some of these onslaughts from Bradford, when they are strong onslaughts, and it'll give them confidence if they can.
Well, they're taking the time of the dropout, aren't they?
Well, they want to get a bit of composure here. You know, senior players are saying, the young blokes, you know what I mean, let's stay together, you know, don't panic.
Radlinski with a drop kick clearance. Deacon's dropped it. Did it go backwards? Yes, it did. The referee decides. Here's Wangenaar trying to get into his stride. He's knocked it on. Wigan's head and feet at the scrum. There's a little victory. There's a legend, Billy Boston, the former Wigan winger, still revered in rugby league circles. Johnson. Well, he's lost it. Stolen or dropped? The referee will have to make a decision. Dropped, he says, because it's play on. Withers from dummy half. Handling mistakes from both sides early on, but nerves will be playing their part, won't they?
Nerves, it's a semi-final. You know, there's a big prize at the end of it, and that's Cardiff, the Challenge Cup final. And they do look a bit nervous, both teams.
Here's Price. Out to that right-hand side of Vicona. Pinned to the ground, 20 yards away, no more. Peacock, little ball inside for Robbie Paul. His dashing, darting runs can be so devastating unless defences are on their toes. Deacon. Wangenaar. Wangenaar offloads behind Jimmy Lowe's, a little scruffy. Peacock now will provide a more direct route once again.
Oh, come on, boys.
Here's Lowe's. Robbie Paul. Little step. Half round the defender, but gets it away to Jimmy Lowe's. Vicona knocks on. Half chance goes a-begging.
No advantage.
It's been a while since the team completed their set of 6 and got to the end and got a kick in. Robbie Paul's been very threatening with his footwork. A lot of offloads early by the Bradford team. Not only the big guys, but even the smaller guys like Robbie Paul. Lowe's goes and draws the winger. He wanted his winger to stay out, which he created that space. And a bit of poor communication, but also poor decision-making by that giant of a winger.
Well, these will be fairly frustrating times for Bradford, won't they? These opening 6.5 minutes, because they haven't made an impression yet on the game. certainly in terms of the scoreline.
That's what I'm saying. You know, they've had the ball, which is good early to have the ball, but it's what you do with it. But also defensively, if you can control it, you can give you a lot of confidence. Teams get a lot of their confidence from defence, Dave.
Lamb. Expansive stuff, but Hodgson's caught in possession. Well covered by Leon Price. A little pick-up from dummy half. Hawk.
Down here on the touchline, just news of an injury to David Hodgson, the Wigan centre. He's dislocated a finger. The physio has popped it back in. Tough guys, these rugby league players. And goodness knows, Wigan could do without any more injuries.
Well, we've just seen a terrific kick from Chris Redlinski. And this... Well, the question here is, was it a 40-20? There were no doubts that Redlinski was inside his own 40-metre mark. The question is, did the ball go out of play beyond the touch flag or this side of the touch flag?
Well, that's the interesting point. Yes, on the line, I think. I'm not quite sure. On the line, normally he's out. Now, I think the viewers have got to know, if the ball's kicked inside your 40 and goes in the opposition 20, you get the scrum feed and another 6 tackles. So that's important for people to know why we're going to that, because it has a big bearing on the game. Wigan could have the ball here for another 6, 10 yards out from Bradford's line. Now, that is in the field of play. Yes, that is in the field of play. So that will be a 40-20. It'll be Wigan's feed. They will now double up and have 2 sets of 6.
This could be a huge kick.
And don't forget, too, Dave, this is the first time they've been in their half. And they're going to get it from 40-20. Yep, it's a 40-20.
The delay there as well. Steve Ganson just offering it up to the video referee to make the ultimate decision, and it has gone Wigan's way, and Johnson's knocked off. Coach kill, as they call him, don't they?
Dave, Paul Johnson has touched the ball twice, both times from scrums, and dropped it both times. You know, it's not good for him, and it's not good for the team.
Selected for a purpose at standoff today as well, but it's a purpose that's not paying off so far. Here's Vicona. Bradford doing well in getting a bit of yardage back again.
See, that's going to be the difference, Dave, how long Wigan can apply pressure and there'll be a chance of winning this by taking advantage of 40-20s and drop ball that Bradford can see. At the moment, they haven't.
Paul Deacon, long ball out to Radford. Radford with a little dummy, tries to hand off, but is just held on to by Aspinwall. Bradford on the 6th tackle. Deacon with a high kick. Tester as well. Up they go. Down comes Briscoe with the ball in his hands. And Wigan's hearts will be beating just a little slower now.
Gee, I don't think people appreciate how much skill this takes to take a ball when there's that much pressure on you and you're isolated. It is a tough test, and that kid's a young kid, and he's done really well there.
Here's Bybee. Surging clearing run by him. Newton a dummy half. Craig Smith. Little offload as well, that's paid off. Newton's picked it up and dashes into space. Deacon's missed a tackle. Lamb's in support. Little chip over the top. It's going to be chased by Aspinwall. It bounces awkwardly. Still anybody's ball, and Withers eventually rescues it for Bradford. Hairy moments.
Well, his teammates aren't happy with Newton. It was a great break, but he had support. He didn't have to give the ball up that easily. And Radlinski was tearing up the inside. And once again, they've handed over the ball, and they've had an opportunity to really apply the sword to Bradford.
There's Vinokola. Jimmy Lowes waiting and wondering at dummy half. Stuart fielded. Jimmy Lowes having his usual contribution. Pointing something out to the referee. He's very good at that, isn't he? Jimmy Lowes, a real character on the pitch. Withers with a kick downfield. Should be meat and drink for Redlinski, and is.
Well, great pressure from Wigan. You know, they chased out, and the leader was Adrian Lamb. They're putting pressure, and they've won field position because of that great pressure on the kicker.
And they were growing stature, weren't they? They've made a couple of mistakes in Bradford's half, but they were growing stature from what they've done in their own half so far in this game.
Well, they're repelled. Now they need to keep the ball and put some options and apply some pressure to Bradford, and that's been the problem. Both teams haven't ran out their sets of 6 yet.
O'Connor, Redlinski, here's Bybee. Half stretching that Bradford defence. Lamb. O'Connor's on his shoulder, providing that steady, powerful platform that he does in the Wigan pack. 6th tackle coming up, though. Lamb again, 20 yards away. Little chip through, Deacon's turned. Vinocolo's missed it. It's still bobbling around, but eventually Spooned away by Deacon, but it'll be a drop out under the sticks and more pressure on Bradford.
Well, both halfbacks have been able to put the ball in the in-goal, which has given their team another set of 6. We found yesterday in the game the ball was bouncing quite peculiar. I think it's a very hard surface here, a little different style of grass, and you can't take anything for granted. And now they get another set of 6, Wigan, and momentum can change quickly in a game, can't it, Dave? And at the moment, these last sets of 6, it has been Wigan.
Well, they will be taking good heart from what they've seen so far, those Wigan fans. Here's Deacon with the drop kick clearance. Lamb. Craig Smith with the initial drive. And holding down against Stuart Fielder.
Well, there hasn't been a penalty, Dave. We mentioned there might be some early. 11 minutes in the game, the first penalty here for a ruck infringement, and he has tried to field in to get one over his opposite, Craig Smith, and he's over-milked it, or overcooked it, we call it.
40 yards away, Danny Tickle. Chance for the first points of the game. With this, the first penalty of the game, with over 11 minutes play. Struck it well, and struck it true. And the flags will be raised by the 2 such judges to acclaim the first points of the game. Wigan have the lead, 2 points to nil.
Well, they probably deserved that 2 points. They've took some early onslaughts and repelled them, and now started getting a bit of confidence, Wigan. Dave, I think the stats are something like Wigan have not lost a semi-final since 1968. Is that true? So, you know, our club, which has got a proud tradition in the Challenge Cup, takes a 2-0 lead and sort of poses the question to Bradford. Listen, we're not going to give up that trophy easy in our tradition.
Yeah, the last time they lost, 1968, they lost against Leeds at Station Road, Swinton. It's not there anymore, is it? It's housing estate these days. And that was the year of the famous water splash final as well. All the viewers might remember Don Fox's missed goal in front of the sticks. Eddie Waring's comment of "he's a poor lad." Wigan with their thoughts on the present at the moment, as are Bradford. Here's Newton.
Down here on the Wigan bench, we got injured Wigan forward Mick Cassidy. Mick, a good positive start by your side.
Very good start, yeah. We knew we had to have all guns firing for this game. Big team, Bradford, you know, favourites going into the game, so we've nothing to lose.
A lot of young lads out there.
Yeah, they are young lads, but, you know, young lads who's coming of age. You know, the only way you get experience is by playing in big games, and this is where they get the experience. I'm sure they'll come through it well.
Thanks, Mick.
Withers with the collect from the Lamb kick. He's a good fullback, isn't he, Michael Withers? Very good at returning those kind of kicks.
Well, he has a real cool sort of appearance about him, doesn't it? You know, it doesn't look like he's rushing, but he's able to beat people with ease at times.
Here's Vinokola. Fancies another little dabble down that dummy side. Happy. Deacon. Banging up. Michael Withers' strike rate is sensational as well.
I've got it. Hang on. Hold on.
Danny Sculthorpe trying to do his own refereeing there as well.
Hey, Danny.
Yeah,
Danny, leave it, mate. Leon Price.
There's a penalty there, and he's not happy with him.
Mate, he's on the ground, unprotected. Don't come in over the top. All right. Back here. Danny, leave it with me, mate.
You recognise the name, by the way, Danny Sculthorpe.
Okay,
he's the brother of the one and only Paul Sculthorpe, isn't he?
Yeah, he
also
certainly is. Very young, talented front rower, Danny is. He's got some great ball skills, and he's a very good player. Good stock, the Sculthorpes.
Here's Craig Smith. Terry Newton's the man at dummy half. Lamb now, wearing those flashy white boots. Little offload. Sculthorpe's going to be held up. But midway inside this Bradford half, Wigan looking for a fairly sharp response here to lift their spirits and lift their hopes. Here's Lamb, little ball inside again, but no way through. Well, another penalty.
Twice on the run, you're on too long.
Gilmore just spending too long on the tackle on Gareth Hopp.
Here, mate.
Yeah, he's got them 2 rucks in a row now, Bradford, for holding down, and we'll get to the point here where Steve Ganson will say, hey, listen, guys, one more in succession, I have to put someone in the sin bin, because the game has been a good open style of game at present. So it's just the relieving points they need, Wigan, if he kicks this.
Well, it's an important kick. Those are borderline decisions, though, aren't they? Seemed to be a split-second judgment by a referee on some occasions.
Well, sometimes that has a lot to do, Dave, how your initial contact with the ball carrier and how you go into tackle. And if you can't control and the ball carrier is dominating you, he's very hard to control. So, and that's what the game's all about. You know, he's being able to go forward.
There's an Oscar winner, Colin Wellens, formerly involved with the Fulham club of old, which evolved into the present-day London Broncos. Danny Tickle. All kinds of thoughts rushing round his mind at the moment, I'm sure. But it's a good kick. It's another 2 points for Wigan. Just edges them slightly back into the game. There's the referee's warning to the Bradford players. You might have heard Lee Gilmore twice on the run. We might, as Ian was suggesting, might be seeing the yellow card brandishing if that continues, that trend of players hanging on in the tackle when they should be getting clear. Here's Tickle. Terry Newton.
Geez, working hard, Terry, isn't it? You know, that's a lot of tackles, and he's made a break. Which will give them a lot of confidence that they can repeat that.
Wigan lad, Terry Newton, but he came to the club from Leeds, didn't he? Wigan still inside their own half. Here's Lamb. Wide to O'Loughlin now. Nice ball skills and plays it out. Aspinwall's on the break. Inside to Lamb. Tries a forward pass. Referee's right in line. Radlinski breaks. High over the top. Newton will finish. Terrific. Terrific handling by Wigan. The Bradford fans are not happy. They thought there were at least 2 or 3 forward passes involved in the build-up. But nobody from Wigan is going to stop and ask the question. They have scored their first try of this semi-final, and they're right back in the game again.
Well, great try here. You can talk about a forward pass. The referee was straight there. Here we go, a cut-out ball. The centre, Shontaine Happy gets caught out of position. Lamb supports, he always does. Great hands here. Radlinski's awareness. Newton, hey, he started from dummy half with a pass. He's looking in for dummy half. He's gone straight up the middle of the ruck. Stayed in Lamb. He's gone up the middle of the ruck. Now these youngsters in space. Aspinall, back to Lamb. Back to O'Loughlin. Radlinski. Hey, these 3 guys here, they're the ones who are dummy half and first receivers. They have worked extremely hard off the ball and been rewarded to turn around, and 8 points here from that goal, and now 6 points.
Well, that's another big moment in the match again, because with Bradford having that fairly comfortable lead, many would have expected them to build on that and take the game away from Wigan, but Wigan are right back in the match. This to narrow the gap to a mere 2 points. No mistake by Tickle. 10 points for Wigan, 12 for Bradford. We might yet have a classic on our hands again today.
Well, you know, everyone keeps forgetting this is a semi-final. You live on emotion in these games, even when you're tired. And if you look here, it starts with Newton, just a simple dummy half post Lamb, but look at them support. They're anticipating something. Shontaine Happy caught badly out of position. Now they've got to scramble. No, that's not forward. That's not forward. That's not forward. And this is definitely not forward. Great try, great skill, great reward for just participating on every ruck there.
It has fired up the atmosphere around the McAlpine Stadium. Here's O'Connor. Having had his spell on the substitutes bench, he's back out again. Newton. Lamb. Oh, it's a big mistake. Sculthorpe not able to keep hold of the ball.
Bradford head and feed. Stay locked in, boys.
Well, Danny Sculthorpe, he's caught it and looked in front of him to what he's going to do instead of the old ABC theory. Catch it first, then look. And disappointed with himself. He's going to have to work hard here, the whole team, because that 8 point has given him a huge amount of confidence.
Good platform here for Bradford, though. Here's Withers. Up in that line again. 3 defenders submerging him. Mycona just pushes them away. Wingers don't run past people these days, they run through them. Here's Forshaw, looking around. Too dangerous to pass. Lowe's. Anderson, he's missed. Mycona was the intended target. He didn't want to go that way. He was looking for the pass to the wing, but of course he is the winger, so there was nobody there. Lowe's.
We've got a player injured down here, Wigan. Young Hawks down injured.
Robbie Paul out to Withers. Paul's run over on the overlap, but Withers tries to bring it back central again. Gareth Hope in amidst all of that receives treatment. Here's a kick from Paul Deacon. Well flighted again. It's anybody's, and eventually bounces out of play.
Oh, he said it's come off a Bradford hand. Was the first to touch it, and because they've pushed it dead, they're going to get a restart here. Who's it come off? Yep, it comes off the chest of Vanacola. They get a restart on the 22-metre line.
Here's Sculthorpe driving it forward. Terry Newton. Tickle. This is O'Loughlin at dummy half. Now O'Connor. Forward it goes again. Mark Smith's on the field as well. There he was at dummy half, on for the bench. Lamb with the kick over the top. Vinacola's backtracking. Should be an easy take, but that's a wall of red and white defenders that had rushed up to meet him. Happy. Dragged, or just out of play. Big win in defence for Wigan.
Well, we've seen them turn around, repelling their line there against Bradford, get a good kick in, and now Sean ain't happy. He's run to a short side, probably not the way to go. 2 men in the tackle. They're going to drag him towards the sideline and force him to go over it. And now they get the feed. And you look at it 3 minutes ago before half time. In the last 7 minutes, it's been all Wigan.
Lamb, O'Loughlin. Withers was in his face the moment he got the ball, so there was little options available to him. Here's Lamb again. Johnson. Only 8 yards away or so, that's all. Newton at that left-hand side. Here's Hodgson. Dragged down by Price. Newton spins it to the middle and O'Connor. Now it's with Mark Smith. Probing and pressing, but not finding a way through just yet. Newton from dummy half. The kick flies off him. Now, did Sculthorpe touch it down? Was he onside? Those are the questions the referee's asking.
Check the onside, please.
Well, I think he's going to check the onside, as you can just hear. It's going to be a try, Dave, because Newton has kicked the ball from dummy half, and I'm pretty sure they're all going to be behind him. The reaction of the players, they're pretty confident. And hasn't this been an incredible turnaround here in the last 10 minutes? Here we go, he's from dummy half. They're all going to be onside. They're onside a mile. He's just going to put it down, which is easy. We're looking at another 6 points here. This turnaround by Wigan has had a huge momentum flow in this game. And there another try, Dave, was seen from a kick.
Out of the crowd came Sculthorpe with a greater hunger to get to the ball. And he might have just put Wigan ahead. He has! Try is confirmed from 12-2 down. Wigan, in all probability now, will go in at half-time with the lead. 14-12 with a kick to come. This is highly unpredictable.
Well, you get so many opportunities in rugby league, and they had some early Bradford. They haven't had many opportunities, Wigan. We thought when Newton made a break early, he blew an opportunity. But since then, he has contributed to the last 2 tries. With support back on the inside, and now a little delicate kick. And you look at their main players are going well. You know, Lamb, Newton, the 2 front rowers, O'Connor and Smith. So, you know, I mean, the experienced blokes have really put their hand up here. And, you know, it's a very, very encouraging 10 minutes and puts the pressure back on that man and the Bradford team.
Well, Brian Noble would have been chewing his gum earlier, fully anticipating that his side would be comfortably ahead by the half-time break, but quite the opposite. Tickle with a chance to tack on another couple here. Over he goes. 4 out of 4 for Danny Tickle. 16 Wigan, 12 to Bradford.
It looked like he was looking to pass it to Sculthorpe there, or the player outside him. Create a little bit of doubt in the Bradford defence, whether to come forward or hold. And with that, he sliced the kick through. And we've had quite a few tries over these last 2 days. Have been contributed to kicks. The astute kicking game playing a big part in rugby league at the moment.
Well, it has been a wonderful first half, certainly absorbing us all into the contest. Nobody would have predicted when Bradford were leading 12-2 that Wigan would have the lead come the half-time hooter, but that's the way of it. Wigan go in with a sprightlier step, leading 16-12.
If you blink, you miss what's going on.
Rossi knew how to handle it.
He's not in the mood for playing around. You know that he really means business.
Round 1 in Japan set the scene as they crossed the globe for Africa's Grand Prix.
Oh, they pick on the strike.
The reigning champ picked up where he left off last year. Can the others hold him back in South Africa?
The doctor opened surgery in style.
Exclusively live, round 2 of the MotoGP, Sunday night from 7, Fox Sports 1.
You can win this Nissan Pulsar by voting for your Nissan Try of the Week. Just call 1-900-966-376 and choose the best from our top 3.
Ran away from Crawley. Stepped and went hard outside the 30-metre line. Gets it away to Brent Tate. Tate beats one. Gets it to Kelly. Kelly beats another. Stuart Kelly's on his way. Here comes another try.
So the Eels have come up with Gary and they go wide early. And straight up the middle of the ruck is a rampaging Alex Chan, and he'll score under the black top. Absolutely extraordinary.
And here's Kamali doing it on his own. He's down to the 30. He kicks again. Frenzale score.
If your choice matches our experts, you could win a weekly prize pack of Fox Sports gear. All entries get a chance at winning the Nissan Pulsar ST manual sedan at the end of the regular season. Voting closes midnight each Sunday. Get on the phone and let your choice win for you in the Nissan Try of the Week.
Our Red V members are a vital part of our team, so come along and join us for all the action.
To win the premiership, that'd be great, to share it with my teammates and the Red V members would be outstanding.
We need you. Become a part of your team. Become a Red V member today.
Well, Bradford just is not a prediction you would have heard from many people's lips before this game, is it? But
Keep going, mate.
I wonder if we're going to have another extra time thriller on our hands here today. It's a little closer than it was yesterday even, wasn't it, at this stage? Only 4 points the difference. But Wigan will have grown in stature with their first half performance. Bradford's conviction might just have grown a little during half-time as well. Oh, there's... the ball hits the post. Well, Deacon was the quickest to recover. That was almost a splendid start to the second half for Wigan, but Paul Deacon, the Wigan youngster.
Well, it was the perfect start Wigan would have been hoping for. To get the ball from a kickoff would have been outstanding for them. I think what I said earlier in the commentary before the kickoff, I thought it was going to be a lot closer than people expect. I don't see that to change, and I can also see a situation we may go into extra time because they're not going to give up a fight either team here today.
And Ricky might be just having a bit of treatment on the sidelines. Bradford in the middle. Back to Deacon. Deacon's kick. Taken by Briscoe and returns it back to the Bradford line.
Down here on the Bradford bench, I've got Scott Naylor missing today. But Scott, so what do Bradford have to do to get back into this game?
What Brett Noble just spoke about, we've got to control the ball more. We're making silly mistakes and giving Wigan piggybacks out to their own half. If we can get a good set of 6 in their half and keep them down there, then it'll give us field position, which will then help us on to go on and win the game.
Thanks, Scott.
Here's O'Connor driving it hard. 4 tackles gone here already, though, so Wigan have got a bit of ground to cover yet. Bradford will be pleased with the way this set has gone so far, keeping Wigan penned inside that half. But here's Redlinski with a kick. Should be an easy one for Withers to take. It's a good chase again by the Wigan line, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they're renowned as a good kick chase team, and they've certainly displayed that today. And, you know, it's Bradlinski's done some good kicks, not usually a regular kicker, but taking a little bit of pressure off Lamb here today.
There's Robbie Paul just widening things up. Vanacola running into Tickle and running past him almost. Newton's there to ensure the tackle is good. Jimmy Lowe's now. Bradford trying to wind up their momentum again now. Gilmore. Lowe's. Deacon. Grew up as a Wigan supporter, Paul Deacon. Not today. Here's Lowe's. Little kick. Interesting as well. It could bounce anywhere. Well, it was taken in goal by Briscoe, and he can do no more than concede the drop out underneath the sticks.
That was a very good kick and a very good chase, and everything a coach would have been asking for at half-time is to get down that end of the park, build some pressure, put the ball in the in-goal area so we can get some repeat sets. They've been able to achieve that, Bradford.
You've been warmed up even if you're not playing the game. Wilcox eventually wrestled to the ground, but Bradford have a good position here now. Lowe's, Deacon, Withers, looking for the fringes. They found them, happy at the corner. Will score the try. Great finish by the Kiwi centre. He's a terrific player. Well, the referee has put the square in the air. Touching goal is a question, but Happy seems fairly sure he got the ball down, and from 80 yards away, I think we're pretty sure as well.
Well, I'm sure he got the ball down, but you know, I mean, that's what the facility is there. Just make sure. Here we go again. He's very upright here. He's starting to come down now. Where's his foot? Where's his foot? Oh, that's incredible. His foot's over the line, but it's in the air. If it had stayed down, it would have been no try. Let's have a look at that again. That's why you got to go to the video ref. If you look, oh, gee, I don't know, but it is going to be a try. Where's that back leg? On that, you'd say no try, but I think when you look at the close-up, the leg is in the air. He's done very well here, Carney, to get him towards the sideline, and oh.
Well, his back foot just seems to lift the millisecond he touched the ball down.
See that? That's why you got to have the video ref, because it's all right to say by the naked eye it's a try, but you know, like we keep saying, it's you got a facility to use it. He's done well there because he's been able to keep maybe his legs up, and if any of his legs, his toes, or anything of his foot had touched the white line before he grounded it, it would have been no try. Unfortunately for him, he's been able to keep them away from the sideline.
Pendulum swings back. Paul Deacon, if he kicks this, will edge his side into the lead again, but this is a very difficult kick. You can see how close he is to that touch line.
He's a very good goal kicker, Deacon. I think he kicks at something like 80%. So these are kicks that he does kick to achieve that such a high percentage he kicks at.
This to edge Bradford back into the lead. He struck it well, and it is between the uprights. That's where it needed to be, and Paul Deacon has given slight advantage to Bradford again.
Well, they shift the ball a very long wide pass. They just caught them short on numbers here, Wigan. Shontaine Hammy, he's conceded a try early. He pegs one back for his own personal duel with Martin Aspinall, the Wigan centre.
We've just seen a shot of Brian Noble, who looks very calm and collected, but you coaches must suffer a maelstrom of emotions in matches like this.
Well, it's, you know, for a player, he can release them out in the field by his actions and have contact. We've got to sit there in the spot and go through the highs and lows and think of the things that you try to deliver to the players during the week and look at the players that need breaks. And gee, this is not the start they look for, Wigan. They've conceded 6 points and now they've doubled up with a penalty. And we look at the momentum late there in the first half. It all went Wigan's way. At this point in time, it's going Bradford's. And this is how you've got to be able to adjust when momentum. goes one's team and how to hang in there.
Adrian Lamb clambering all over the tackle player. That's why the penalty was given. He should simply have got up and got away. Here's Parker for Bradford. 20 yards away from this Wigan line again. Questions being asked of the Wigan defence as Bradford, with all their power and all their might, hurl themselves at Wigan line. Lowe's falls short. Back to Lowe's again. Out it comes to Deacon. Deacon swings it wide to Paul. Plenty of options here. Here's Peacock. Stands up in the tackle. Couldn't get it away. Leon Price moving into dummy half. Bradford lining up to the left now. Robbie Paul. Back to Deacon. Deacon looks long. High pass. Happy takes it. Spotted by Carney, and it was in the air long enough for Carney to dash in and make the tackle.
Tremendous defensive read there by Carney. He had numbers in front of him and he was able to shut down the centre. He doesn't achieve that. He has the opposite winger who's in for a try. Great defence read.
Here's a sixth tackle. Deacon puts the question in the air again. High one. Well taken, though, on that left wing by Briscoe, who's not only taken it, but strides away from a couple of tackles. He's caught the shoulder of Anderson.
This young kid, Sean Briscoe, come into the team because their Australian import, Jamie Ainscoe's out, who's a very good player. But this kid has held his head high. He's taken some high-pressure kicks and fielded the ball back in the field of play, beating the first defender on numerous times, and he's played very well, young Briscoe.
There's O'Connor, one of the more experienced heads on the Wigan side. 204th appearance for him today. 204th start, anyway, in Wigan colours. Johnson. 5 tackles gone, but they have only reached the halfway line. O'Loughlin, little chip over the top. Withers takes it well. Scored a hat-trick, of course, Michael Withers, against Wigan in the grand final a couple of years ago when Bradford did a total demolition job on Wigan.
And it was one of those games where they started and they just kept going on with the job, Bradford. It was an incredible performance, that. But we're not seeing that here today. There's a lot more resistance from a Wigan team here today.
Ball short. That's a Happy. Got a lot on the outside of him, so he'll take it forward himself. Robbie Paul. Gilmore. 6th tackle coming up. Bradford will go the aerial route. Deacon with a jab kick downfield. Radlinski's chasing it. I'm happy to see it out of play for a tap back on the 20.
Well, Radlinski knew it was going to go dead. The only problem he had, he thought it was going to hit the big padding around the post, which I'm sure Deacon may have been looking at as a benchmark where to kick to.
Mark Smith scooting from dummy half. He just gives them something a little extra, doesn't he, from that position that Terry Newton doesn't quite offer. Newton has his other strengths, but Smith just gives them a little bit of a zip from dummy half.
Well, the game's blessed with a lot of good hookers at the moment. You even look at Mike Thompson Helens, Kieran Cunningham, who's out injured at the moment, but Mickey Hyman, who won Man of the Match award yesterday, a very good performance. And you look at this Wigan team, Smith and Newton, very good players.
There's Newton. Laughlin's held up, but nice to get it away. We're going to have to search down the middle again. Lowe's has missed the tackle. Aspinwall is put down. 6th tackle coming up. And he's 10 yards inside the Bradford half. Here's Carney. Puts it high. Not sure he would have been the designated kicker, but what will come of this? Carney slaps it back. And Leon Price is quite happy for the Wigan player, Hodgson, to get possession, because he knew that once the tackle was made, the ball would be handed over Bradford's way.
Well, he contested a Carney off the kick, but unfortunately for him, it went to a teammate that was under pressure, and it's a hand over to Bradford.
Wigan's Brett Dallas, the timing of that Bradford try just after half-time, a real kick in the guts for your side.
Yeah, it wasn't the best start. We had the opportunity at the start when the ball hit the upright, which we didn't take hold of. So it was a bit of a kick in the guts, but I'm sure the boys will fight back.
A lot of your young guys really stood up today.
Yeah, no, the boys have stood up well. You know, we've sort of got 6 running forwards at the moment, and just looking at.
Thanks, Brett.
There's Lowe's with a jab kick. Radlinski's across quickly. Steps away from Binocolo. Hands off Happy. Quickly around Jimmy Lowe's. Back up to the 20-metre mark. Here's Lamb. Peacock's there. Safe pair of hands.
Gee, great defuse on the bomb. Well, not a bomb, a kick on the ground. The way he attacked it so aggressively, Radlinski. Ball in the field of play, then linked up with a player who was in space. Very, very encouraging sign for Wigan when Radlinski's running the ball so great like that.
Here's Newton. Wigan keeping it alive. A little untidy looking, but it's effective in terms of keeping the ball fluid. Tickle. Tackled by Paul Deacon. Newton. Radlinski. Here's Schofield. Willis Surge. Bradford holding on. 6th tackle. Terry Newton still topping the tackle count. Lamb with a kick. Withers just watching it safely. But again, it's a good chase, and Withers making no more than 5 yards before he's put to ground.
And if you look at the two major battles in this game at the moment, Dave, it's got to be the two hookers, Lowe's and Newton, having a huge influence on both teams' attack. And I think the winner there is going to have a huge bearing on the result of the game. Two talented players are both playing very well here today. Newton's having a very good game for Wigan.
Jimmy Lowe's, a shrug of the shoulders, wanted the ball to be played quicker than that from Donny Hartfield, and steps in. Wrapped up instantly, but a good offload by him. Vangenaar gets it wide. Now it's a chance for Robbie Paul. Dummies one way, then flicks out the pass. Kona stands up. Here's Robbie Paul again, keeping it alive. Inside to Peacock. Lamb advances. Peacock holds him off. Little ball now for Lowe's, who stretches his legs and finds the gap and has support. They're queuing up left and right, and it's going to be a chase away underneath the sticks. Lee Radford scores the try, but again edges Bradford into that comfort zone, and they know that could be a very big moment in this game.
We're talking about the contributing factor of the two nines. This all come from the inability to stop the ball carrier passing the ball. We have an unload here. There's a lot of hand passing here. At first it's not going forward. But here now Peacock, he's got another play now. Lowe's puts the foot in the accelerator. People come from everywhere. There's more support players than defenders. He could have went left or right. He's picked the forward. He'd be nice and happy about that. And no video ref this time, Dave, because it's a clean and good try.
Lee Radford's on a hat-trick now. 2 tries to his name. One more. And he'll have that fabled glory of having scored a hat-trick in a semi-final.
Well, we're talking about a situation here after half-time. 12 quick points by Bradford. So, you know, it's just their ability when they get a little bit of a roll, Bradford, because their strength and power is to stop the play with the ball. And there's getting a lot of unloads here at the moment. And that would be a concern for Stuart Raper, to be able to combat that, and you can help control their go forward.
Paul Deacon with another simple kick right between the uprights again. 4 out of 4 he's kicked now this afternoon. 16 points for Wigan, 24 for Bradford.
But if Bradford score next, well, that mountain gets very much higher to climb.
Contrasting emotions amongst a couple of coaches. Here's Vangenaar. Met by O'Connor.
Some news from the Bradford bench. Mick Forshaw, so influential for Bradford in that win against Widnes in the previous round, came off. We saw him grimacing in pain. He's got a problem with his right bicep. There's an ice pack on it. We may or may not see him again.
Well, that was a problem he was carrying into the game. He was one of those several Bradford players who had doubts over their names. Had the arm injury this week, but obviously fit to start, but exacerbated the problem during the match. Here's Peacock now, striding forward. Price. Bradford building momentum again now. Deacon skips it left. Gilmore steps inside. Back to Deacon once more. Away from the defender Newton. Runs towards Craig Smith, then lifts it over the top to Withers. A quick hand to Vicona. Vicona now the right-hand side has been one defender. Back inside for Paul Deacon. And Deacon will stretch away under the shadow of the sticks. Once a Wigan fan, he's just broken Wigan's hearts. Bradford have assumed total authority.
We talk about game breakers. I think we've just seen it now, Dave. That's the game breaker. Another unload. They're coming now frequently, the unloads. Going across the ruck. Now to get some space. Now we get the power. We get the fend. Support back on the inside. Every good halfback should support on the inside. He scores on the post to make his conversion a bit more simple, but the long ball The winger is just not quite there quick enough to shut it down. Young Briscoe has a big job on his hand. Bradlinski can't do any more to go up the ball carrier. And I think if you talk about game breakers, that's the game breaker, Dave.
Points registered now for the Bradford Bulls. The machinery has cranked into gear. Wigan might find it very hard to stop here on in.
We haven't seen a lot of tries come from passing. There's been an equal amount from kicks. Wigan have got a great try for some great passing. It was this time it was Bradford's turn to show that they could also have that delicate skill and finesse to score out wide.
Well, 14 points the difference. Maurice Lindsay will be a worried man now, the Wigan chairman. He presided, of course, in the glory years when Wigan were all-conquering in the Challenge Cup. They went on that run between 88 and 95 of 8 successive Challenge Cup final victories. It's a little different these days. Salary capping has caught up with the club, hasn't it? They've not been able to import the big names. In fact, they've had to ship 1 or 2 out. And depending on the younger players, and the younger players are learning a lesson here this afternoon.
Well, they've got some very good young players, and you know, I think it's a compliment them how many good young players they've brought in the club and neutered through. And there's some talented players there, and today's experience will do them the world of good.
Here's Fielder down the middle, half through, 6 tackle. Jimmy Lowes measuring the kick, and Rudlinski will watch it out of play. It will be Wigan's head and feet at the scrum. They will have possession, but that's not the best of places to start your next set of 6 tackles.
OK, lock in, stay in.
And Rogers at dummy half again. Craig Smith running at Gilmore. Wrestled down. Still 20 minutes left to play, so there is plenty time for Wigan to resurrect their Cardiff hopes. You just feel the tide is sweeping against them at the moment. Bybee. O'Connor, that goes forward. Pass from Luke Robinson, the young scrum half. It's come on from the bench.
It's a mile forward. What happened to the old rule where if it was a deliberate forward pass, it was a penalty? We don't see that anymore. But it is forward. No complaints there from Wigan players.
Deacon. Fanganar. Down the middle, but offloads. Robbie Paul sweeps it out to Price. Price steps inside. Almost through the tackle, but Adrian Lamb held on manfully round his ankles. Make sure he couldn't make any progress. And then, just again, holding on too long. Luke Robinson was the miscreant.
Hey, Leon, don't do that, mate. Can go the other way. That's descent. Don't do it. OK, pal. Leon, just inflames it for you. All right, mate. OK.
No, it was a little unnecessary from Leon Price, wasn't it? Having been given the penalty, clapping in the face of the Wigan player.
You know, the young Wigan player, he's trying to slow it down because the speed of the game has gone one team's way, and that's Bradford. The speed they play the ball, the speed they go forward is a lot quicker at the moment than Wigan.
Well, it could edge him a little closer to semi-final record. Franjo Botica is the player who's kicked most goals in a semi-final. 9 in total in that 92 semi we mentioned earlier. And Bradford were defeated by Wigan. That one's just gone wide, so it'll be a drop out from the 20-metre mark. So Bradford should get possession back anyway.
Well, when you miss the kick, it's a 20-metre restart by Wigan, and they do retain the ball. Not as good field position, but you do get another 6 tackles. So that is the consolation when you miss your penalty.
As the old coach's adage, if you're going to miss it, make sure you put it dead. Here's Fielder. Strong into the line again. No respite at all for this Wigan defence. Lowes offloads. They're keeping it alive nicely again here, Bradford. Fanganar's being pointed forward by his skipper, Robbie Paul. So that's the way he went. And he's still going that way too. 2 of them in the end, having to pull him down. Lowes. Radford. Little dummy. Deacon. Here's Robbie Paul. Peacock Back to Paul again, at this right-hand side. Price keeps it alive. Vicona steps inside, leaves the would-be marker on his back, and Vicona tumbles over. It's another special Bradford try. They are picking their moments, and they are moving towards a glorious conclusion now.
Oh, you just can't give them too much ball, and we've come up with a penalty, we've come up with some drop balls by Wigan, and they're creating space on the edges because of the amount of times they're attracting defenders, with the amount of times they're unloading the ball in tackles. And it's interesting now, a couple of times they've come down this side. I don't think they've purposely done that, it's just that they've created numbers. There's defenders there. There's too many of them going on the ball instead of holding their line. And we'll talk about the giant wingers. It's great to see a winger enjoy scoring tries.
It's another straightforward conversion attempt for Paul Deacon. Try scorers have made it mostly easy for him today. That's his sixth of the afternoon. And the Bradford Bulls fans are already thinking about booking their places in Cardiff in a couple of weeks' time. Well, the pre-match predictions was that the Bradford juggernaut would find a way through sooner or later. It's perhaps come a little later than many expected, but they are comfortably in control here. Well, that was far from comfortable. Stuart Raper knows that it's slipping away from his side. There you have another story of the half as well. 63% territorial advantage. I think it was 67% Bradford possession in this second half, and you can't win against those kind of statistics, can you?
You cannot win, and that is the reason why they're looking stronger, quicker, and dominating field position, because the amount of ball they have, it's a huge high stat in Bradford's favour.
There's Peacock.
It's hard to score when you don't have the ball, Dave.
Lowe's. Six tackle. Kick just pings off Luke Robinson's back. Redlinski's chasing it and got there. The ball went backwards. Carney picks up the pieces, but Redlinski is hurt in that ferocious collision. He had to be very brave to get there, and having got there, he might have paid the price.
Well, he's always been a brave player, Redlinski, and he's had to put his body on the line. He had plenty of black jumpers coming at him. Look at him, there's three. Ooh. Gee, I hope his neck's all right there.
Smith puts it inside for Bybee, whose brother cleans my windows, by the way. Ricky Bybee's older brother. Luke Robinson's waiting at dummy half. O'Loughlin. Dummy back inside again. It's wrapped up by Gilmore. Well, the penalty goes against Gilmore.
Although he kept over, it was reckless.
Well, he's going the other way, and he caught him a little bit with his footwork, and that's the reason why he's had to go high. And it wasn't intentional, but it was a bit high, so he's benefit the outgoes the attacking player.
There's Luke Robinson, little scrum half. Plenty of character in his tiny frame as well, but up against it this afternoon. O'Connor. Here's Craig Smith. Peacock dipped the shoulder. He and Pratt make the tackle good. Lamb. O'Connor. O'Loughlin. Pops it up. Isco can't find a way through it. Lamb. 20 yards out Wigan here. Craig Smith now. Trying to straighten up, but again doesn't make real impact. Robinson goes down the blind side. Lamb now. Little ball back inside. Bradford's defence is holding on. He's had a knock-on by Bybee. Referee says no, but here is the sixth tackle. Lamb. Griller kick through again. Picked up superbly well by Robbie Paul. Just for a split second, it looks as though he might have gone the full distance, but not quite into his stride. Vinocola. Snappy. Anderson. This is Jimmy Lowes.
Just news about that injury to Chris Radlinski. They've taken him to the dressing room. He's got a neck brace on. He is conscious, and they're going to make a decision whether to take him to hospital or not.
Well, we keep our fingers crossed he's okay, as Jimmy Lowes puts a very telling grubber kick in again. They're really turning the screw here, Bradford, aren't they? That's a good kick. Again, it will give Wigan possession, but again, they are starting from very, very deep inside their own half.
Yeah, well, it's a tough ask to keep coming off that line, and the amount of ball that Bradford had, you know, they're the ones who are feeling strong and fresh. Wigan guys, morally at the moment and emotionally, they're feeling a bit down, and there wouldn't be a lot of petrol left in the tank, so perfect place to force an error is to get them coming off their line, and that's what they're doing. And you know, you look at this situation, is it the best to keep the ball in play? Bradford says, well, you know, we want a bit of a breather so we can really attack them on this next set of 6.
Go!
Darting run from dummy half. There's Carney. It's a decent go-forward exercise by Wigan here so far in this set. O'Loughlin to Lamb. Back inside for Bybee again. Pops it off and away. Here's O'Loughlin once more. Price saw it coming. I think he might have knocked on. Or was he offside? Offside, the referee decides.
Knocked down by Bradford. Leon Price caught it offside.
Well, he's saying the defender was offside to start with, and that's the reason why. So
it would be a hell of a story if Wigan did get back into this game now, wouldn't it? It would certainly match yesterday's events. Here's Lamb. O'Loughlin looking for the runners. Little ball back inside again. Aspinwall is put down. Robinson. O'Loughlin spins it out. Aspinwall trying to step inside a couple of defenders. 3 tackles gone, 3 to come. Carney from dummy half. Hurling himself on the line as he wriggled through. Referee was in a good position, and he's given the try. Maybe, just maybe. But then again, maybe not. But Carney has given a little bit of confidence back to the Wigan setup with that well-taken try.
Well, you're going to have to call him Houdini. How did he get through there? He's gone out and they've held their ground. That's one of the reasons they need to come forward here, Bradford. Gee, there's good contact there. There's 3, there's 4 in the tackle. Just good try. He's come in. I'm sure there's 4 in the tackle. There's 1 there. There's 1 he's left on the ground. There's 2. Gee, that's a good try by the winger. He is a very powerful player, very strong player, known more for his speed. But here he's prepared to put his body on the line, reach out, put the ball on the line's a try. You know, that's what I say. You know, what you've got to do is, when there's still time on the clock, there's always hope. And I'd be very keen on kicking this goal. And let's get at them. We've got at them a couple of times in the first half, and we finished stronger in the first half. They'd be thinking themselves here. Trouble is the clock. That could be their biggest enemy now.
Well, if Tickle kicks this, it would still leave them 3 scores behind. He has found the target, so his personal tally goes up another notch. But it is 22 to Wigan, 36 for Bradford. Brian Carney, the Irish international, came to prominence when playing with the Irish students. Snapped up by Gateshead and Hull, and now in the cherry and white of Wigan. But is that just a little too late?
Okay, lad.
Tickler dummy half. Well, the possession's even up considerably, hasn't it? Still Bradford's favour.
Yeah,
but the territorial advantage is still heavily in Bradford's favour.
Yeah, you know, it's coming Wigan's way, which is a reason why they may be able to finish with a bit of a flourish here.
A lot of ball inside their own half, Wigan. That's their problem, and that is down to the effectiveness of Bradford's kicking game and completion rate on their sets of 6. Here's O'Connor now, striding forward, hits Lowes, but Lowes just about able to stop him in his tracks along with Rob Parker. 6 tackle, Lamb. High kick. Carney knocks it back. Bradford slips, picked up by Aspinwall. Rather picked up by Briscoe, but it was the sixth tackle, so it'll be a handover.
Back there.
Yeah, it looked like it had a little bit of an opportunity here. Tap back on the inside, ball rolling everywhere. I think young Briscoe loses sight. It's the last tackle. You need to flick that out then so play can continue. Once you've caught in possession on the last tackle, is a handover to the opposition. That's why Bradford's got the ball.
Only 2 weeks to go before the Power Gen Challenge Cup final in Cardiff. Leeds, having already booked their place, look as though they're going to be joined by their West Yorkshire rivals, the Bradford Bulls. It's a very keen and intense rivalry, and the latest chapter will be played out at the Millennium Stadium in 2 weeks' time. Here's Happy.
I think it's going to be a replay of the 2001, wasn't it? Murrayfield, wasn't it? Bradford and Leeds. Bradford's were victors then, so an all-Yorkshire final.
Lows at the knee high. Little pick up and a scamper forward again. Vinacola's there in support. Now it's swung out. Not the best of passes for Peacock, but he turns. Little layoff for Pratt. Skipping into his stride. Looking for the gaps. Running towards them. Here's Radford. Radford cuts back inside. Looking for his hat-trick. And maybe had that uppermost in his mind because there were options left and right. A little bit of a scuffle going on as well. That'll sort itself out quickly. Happy dived in bravely. Back to Pratt. Little kick. Lowe's chases. A difficult bounce. But taken well by Briscoe and cleared away.
Second, don't get involved in anything, pal. Don't get involved.
There's Hodgson. Ian Millward has the duty of deciding on the Power Gen man of the match today. Who's caught your eye the most?
Well, I'm going to give the man of the match of the Power Gen Challenge Cup semi-final man of the match award to the person I think is very influential in their kicking game and some of their tries, James Lowe. Involved with their first two, and I think James Lowe's had a very, very good game.
Wigan looking to break, but that has gone awry, and Anderson was there to pick it up. I don't think many will argue with that selection.
Well, he was involved with the first two tries, and if you look at it, his kicking game's been hugely factoring in their win and their field position, and created a lot of space he has. And you know, you got to remember, you know, it's a hard sport, and at his age, he's performing very, very well, and a huge contributor why they're successful, the Bulls.
Okay, hang on, Stuart, come here, please, mate. Hang on. Listen, I don't need him coming in. It makes it worse. It inflames it. Stay out. All right. Goal, mate.
Well, they're going for goal.
No more, Ricky.
Here's Deacon. Is he found the range? No, it's not. Put it wide. And hasn't put the ball dead either, so that means Wigan can bring it clear.
That was an unusual incident there. I mean, I'm taking the shot at goal once again, you know. They're playing down the clock now themselves, Bradford. But just before that penalty, Dave, you might have noticed off our monitors, there's been a lot of verbling going on the field, and a fair bit of niggle getting here in the late in the game.
That's my bit. Bradford stepping it up again in defence here, keeping Wigan pinned inside their own 20. No mercy shown at all by this Bradford side. Newton. Missed O'Connor. Throws it wide left. Well, that's what the Bradford fans think about your selection. They think you got it spot on. I don't think that many Wigan fans would argue against it either. Here's Johnson. Flinging it away, desperate measures. Lamb knocked on anyway, so Bradford will have it back again here. Nick Peacock's hurt himself again. Robbie Paul skipping away. Good tackle.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the tackle, and they've resented it, Bradford.
Tickle with the tackle, one of the great phrases of the modern day game. Well, Wigan not straight at the play the ball, not square at the play the ball. All getting a little ragged at the edges now, isn't it, in this final minute?
Okay.
Well, after the last two penalties going for the conversion, he's missed both. He's now decided to kick the ball in and have a go at him and try and come up with a try.
Will Bradford finish with a flourish? 30 seconds left to play. Deacon, long ball, Pratt now, leaping to catch it, out to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul skips it out wide. Here's Leon Price. Sidestepping back in. Against defensive, numbered across. Icona. Pratt. There's a gap there for Lowe's. Steps back inside. Oh, he is to be denied. Only just though. Pratt's at dummy half. He fancies a go himself. Well, he's on the line. He was held up. It would have been a scrum. But the hooter has sounded. And that's the end of it. The contest finished a while ago. Brave Wigan resistance for a long, long while. But in the end, it was the inevitable Bradford juggernaut that rolled its way to victory.
Well, it's not the same dramatic finish as yesterday. It's a quality performance by Bradford, and it's going to be a truly great final down in Cardiff.